What's up? Vinny 10 at Vinny 10 Ṛaciŋ. What's going on? It's not Monday. It's not Monday. I know I told you I do this every Monday and Friday, but it's not Monday. It's Tuesday. And there's definitely a reason why today is Tuesday and why we didn't do this yesterday. Yesterday, I was fit to be tied. There was no way I could do any kind of video. I had to leave here by 2:30, 3 o'clock. I was so upset. I was literally beside myself. And it's something I can't do nothing about, you know, and that's what really makes it extremely frustrating. And, you know, I had such angst in my chest. It was like, anybody's in motorsports, you guys ever do a wheelie? You know, when you go too far over, you kind of feel it in your chest. Well, that was on me for about 9 hours. It just wouldn't stop. And the reason why I got that way is because we got rained out again last week. And now I checked the weather yesterday, and we're going to get rained out again this weekend. This is like 4 or 5 weekends in a row that I've been trying to test this car. And we've been getting rained out. It's been raining. It's like I'm starting to understand why these people in Seattle and in Oregon are so depressed, because it's literally been raining since fucking April. Like since April. Like, you know, it's April showers. You're used to that shit. You know, May comes in, you know, a little bit in the beginning, and then it, you know, all of a sudden it starts warming up. It hasn't even warmed up yet. It was 62 degrees. It was 61 degrees this morning. I left my house. It's insane. I live 8 houses from the beach. I haven't even been on the beach. I mean, other than walk the dog, but other than that, I haven't even been on the beach. I haven't even put my foot in the fucking water yet. It's insane. And I was just so frustrated because it's obviously something I can't do. Believe me, I've talked to God. I'm not sure, I'm sure he's listening, but he's like, hey, that's the luck of the draw. Sometimes it rains, sometimes you get sunshine. Well, I guess we're on the bottom of the barrel because we're getting nothing but rain. And it's just been really, really upsetting, you know, because the guys are ready. The car's ready. I'm ready. I want to do this. And there's something else going on that I give you a little backstory. This car, believe it or not, didn't make it into some classes. And then in another series, they won't let me into the proper class. I'm not going to give out names and point fingers. That's not what I'm doing. I basically have been told, at least last year, from one of the guys that run these events, that if my car goes into the 7s, I could be at his preeminent race. The other guy, you know, I'm working on that same preposition, you know, that, you know, this car belongs in this class, it runs the number for this class, and I'm sure, you know, I'm sure that that will also be handled as well. But I got to go out there and do my job. And I can't possibly approach these people, just like I never approach somebody that I'm not sure of what I can do and make promises. I can't tell these guys 100%, don't worry, I'm going to be there, the car's going to run 7s, until I do. And until I do, I got to sit on my hands, and I got to take the weather, and I got to take the, it's just so upsetting because we're ready. Like, we're ready. We're ready. Whether we run a 7, whether we don't run a 7, whether we get closer, whether we do bad, I don't even give a shit. I just give a shit about getting the car down the track in 2025 to see what I got. And then from there, I could make it better, of course. So I'm laughing about it now, but I wasn't laughing yesterday. So I just want to mention that I'm still on that EJ25. I needed a 026 bearing, which is a 1/1000th thicker bearing. My guys didn't have it. Of course, I call King. I speak to my boy Danny. Danny's always with the hookup. Boom, Monday morning I got a set here, and I'm going through that right now. I got about 3, 4, actually I think I got the 4. Yeah, I got the fourth main done already. I got to do the 5th one. As soon as I'm done with the 5th one, it should be done, and I'll start putting the crank and buttoning that up. But other than that, we're sitting on our hands. It's extremely frustrated. The car, like I said, the car's ready, the team's ready, wifey's ready, trailer's ready, truck's ready, I'm ready. No good weather. No good weather. Let's see. Hopefully my guys over there are putting on their makeup and they're going to be a lot happier. All right? Let's see. Hi-oh. Well, over here at the installation shop, don't get killed. I got no insurance, all right? Bullshit. I got insurance up the ass. All right. Lucas. Lucas was like the man last week. Lucas pumped out so many cars last week. It was just an awesome effort by him. And he had some pretty big ones. Today, obviously, he's doing the clutch, the trannies out of the car. And what else are you doing on this car, Lucas?
Just the clutch today.
Just the clutch?
Yeah, yeah.
Nice, easy peasy day. It's nice, huh? Every once in a while you catch a break, do a clutch, milk me for the whole day on it, and then go home. Perfect.
Already banged down
Now, now Joey over here, no longer known as Josephina because he's stepping up like the man that he is and that he always is. But Joey over here is doing a huge job. This job will probably be on the lift on Friday. Valley gaskets, tune up, service. Also, we're going to put that transmission in right there, which is out of a Q60. So we have the whole kit available to us. We're going to put that in it, program it, and then tune it all in the end. What else we're doing on this?
We're going to be doing a Soho kit.
Oh, yeah.
And catch cans.
Sorry about that. My boys over at Soho, Supercharger kit, which really seems to be going really well. We make like 540 on those Supercharger kits.
Yeah.
So that with the new style Q60 transmissions, some catch cans, a good service, replace the galley gaskets, replace these valve cover gaskets because they're obviously leaking everywhere. But you know, just get down here, and when we talk about servicing your car, and you know, you can bullshit yourself all you want. You can tell anybody you want, whatever. But when we get to the car and we see that kind of grease and dirt, you know, that thick, you know, we know this car has not been if it was serviced, again, not properly done. So this is a big job. Joey's, you know, Joey's a killer. I mean, I tell him all the time, he sort of reminds me of myself in him, except for one thing. Except for one thing. But other than that, he's great at what he does. And it's really a blessing to actually see these two young guys so talented. Like, you know, by the time you get poor Yarrick's age over here, you know, an old man like that, I expect you to know what you know, right? But actually, Yarrick comes. You know, the reason I like working with Yarrick is because he's an old soul. And what does that mean? Is that he's like me, that in the sense that we know cars from the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, even though he's not from that era. He's really good at those cars. And it's not like that's what we work on a daily basis, but it's really good to have that knowledge so that you can always be resourceful into getting you know, the job accomplished and a problem solved. And he's just one of those unique individuals that's really an old soul, and he knows how to work on the old stuff, and it's really nice. Obviously today, that's not what's going on. We got this red Jeep, Supercharger, SRT. What else we got going on here? Heat exchanger. Brakes.
Transmission connector, wire connector.
What other parts besides the Supercharger, heat exchanger, brakes? We're doing a brake.
Things. Mainly just, it was just all taken apart.
Right.
And we got to figure out where they left off.
Okay, fair enough. That happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fix some holes.
Yeah, we got to fix a lot of holes sometimes, you know? We do a lot of hole fixing.
Where they left off and just kind of
Yeah.
correct it.
Maybe we should put that up there, hole fixing specialist, right? All right, man, let's go see what's on the dyno. I think you guys are gonna be surprised about that. Ta-da! As my little granddaughter would say. So we have, what year is this?
18.
Okay, 2018 Macan GTS V6 twin turbo. This car was just recently purchased by the customer. Loves the car, he's had it for a few months from what I understand. Loves it, I actually love the color. I love the blue and the black, it always one of my favorite. Blue and black, blue and silver, always my favorite. Really nice car. I mean, twin turbo, V6, got some carbon on the back, it's got really nice tail lights. You know, it's a nice car and you probably pick them up relatively inexpensively. This is not gonna be a big horsepower deal. The customer just came in, heard about us and said, listen, I just want a little bit more. I don't want anything too loud, too obnoxious, and just a little bit more horsepower. So today, we're gonna give him a little bit more horsepower and torque. Steve, fire in the hole. right, like I said, not a super big horsepower monster, but we went from 309 to 326 on the horsepower, and this is where you really feel it. You know, 356, and now you have 418 foot-pounds of torque. So that's going to be a really big difference. You know, Cobb has tons and tons and tons and tons of Porsche knowledge and parts and access ports for these cars. I think they probably have the largest range of handheld devices for the Porsche line than anyone else. I think it actually goes back to as early as, I'm thinking 2001, believe it or not. So if you have a Porsche, you want a little bit more extra horsepower, you want a lot more extra horsepower, we can put turbos on these cars, we can put exhaust on these cars, intercooler, we can make these cars really monsters. So in the future, if you have, doesn't matter, you come to the shop, it doesn't matter, you have a German car, Japanese car, American car, you know, we have software for all these platforms, HB Tuner for some American cars, you know, UpRev and ECU Tech for some Japanese and some German cars, but the software we really like to use the most, whenever available, is the Cobb Access Port. I'm not trying to do a commercial for them, I'm just telling the truth. It really is the best product for these cars that are reasonable. Like, you know, obviously we're gonna get all kinds of fucking keyboard warriors. Oh, this platform, you gotta get this, that platform, you gotta get that. But the fact is, overall, that's a very small percentage of the customers. Most customers are looking for 100, 150, maybe 200 horsepower more than what they have, you know, stock in their car. And that's something that, you know, easily is provided by the access port. They're really cool. They give a lot of data. They give a lot of feedback. You can learn a lot from owning one. So if in the future you get a Porsche and you want it to go fast, well, you know who's gonna knock it out.